Hey y'all, I'm back with another book review. I just finished Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey. So I'm pretty sure I read this in high school, but I'm gonna be honest, I kind of skimmed a lot of things in for my book reports probably, which is probably not good to mention on YouTube, but who cares? I did. I think I was supposed to read like 4 Jane Austen books, and I know I read Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and that other one. Anyway, and so I think this was the 4th book that I was supposed to read, but I don't think I actually read it. I just skimmed it and found all my quotes and found all my things that were just like for my paper. So when I was reading, I was like, huh, this seems very familiar. The other option is I've seen the British shows about it because I just love Masterpiece Theater, British shows. It's just my jam. But when I was reading through this, I was like, this is much different. Much different than, I mean, not much different. It's still Jane Austen, so it still has her style and who she is, but it felt different when I was reading it. I think the biggest difference I felt is like, not everybody ended up happy. Like, I know in Pride and Prejudice, like, everybody ends up married and ends up in a relationship, blah, 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 blah. But, like, her brother doesn't end up marrying her best friend at the time, which, oh, by the way, that was a spoiler, and I'm so sorry, but this has also been out for 200 years, and if you haven't read it yet, I think I'll be forgiven for this. Well, and my train of thought, because I was on the 200-year thing, but so it's much different that her brother didn't end up happy, that she was no longer best friends with her best friend because their best friend ended up only wanting money, only focused on money and wanting, and I thought that was so interesting that she broke the engagement. Like, in that time period, breaking an engagement, it was like divorcing somebody. It was like the most traumatic thing you could do. And so she broke her engagement with her brother, Catherine's brother, because he didn't have enough money. And I was just like, wow. Like, normally, I think in the other Jane Austen ones I read, they just marry them even if they don't have money. Like, that's not like a big thing. But like for this one, it was just like, oh, they broke an engagement for that. Oh, okay. Like, it was like such a different aspect in that sense, but it was still a Jane Austen, so it's still like part of like my favorite world. I think I probably wouldn't read it again, honestly, now that I've read it and actually read it. So mainly because I find Catherine kind of annoying and dumb. And so, unlike where we're reading Pride and Prejudice, what's her face? Anyway, what's her face? She's so smart and intelligent and witty and blah, blah, blah. I just don't feel like Catherine was that. She seemed just dumbfounded by everybody. And I'm like, and she said really dumb things. I mean, I can't deny I don't say dumb things, but it's just like, you're a character in a book and you're from Jane Austen, so I usually expect them to be witty and like kind of know why they're saying it and kind of be petty for a reason. But I feel like Catherine was just dumb, and I probably could have been misinterpreting that while I was reading, but I really feel like she's dumb. Like, not everybody gets to be smart, and I totally get that, but like, she was just dumb. That's all I gotta say about her. But I did like her counterpart, his name is totally gone from my head, who would challenge her and like being like, why did you say that? That was rude, that was petty, that was blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, he challenged her. He's perfect for her. Like, you should always be challenged, and in my opinion, you should always like, why do you think the things you said, should you have really said that? Was that really appropriate to say? Even if it's just to your spouse or your partner, like, was that really nice to say? And the fact that he challenges her made him, like, the star in my mind when I was reading the book. He definitely was my star. But if you're like trying to read through all the Jane Austen books, you obviously have to read it, so I would recommend it for that. And I would recommend it because I really like the Guy character. But Catherine herself, I wouldn't like, I wouldn't go gung-ho about. And yeah, so I won't read this again, and I can't recommend it, honestly. It's just okay. I mean, it's a Jane Austen, it's still okay, but it's just not my favorite one of Jane Austen's books. There we go, that's what I say. It's not my favorite, but definitely a good read as a historical read. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy this review, and you all have a great day.